Hello and welcome to Snap on This, episode 71. This week's secret homework, tell a toy story. It's a Marvel Snap podcast, but you knew that. I'm LaurenWhatevs, here with my usual amazing, delightful, effervescent co-hosts.
Oh, I love it when we're effervescent.
If you don't believe me, I mean, just look at them. Anyway, first up this week, Ree, how was your weekend Snap? And keep it snappy.
Okay, my weekend Snap was mostly taken up by Team Clash, which we will discuss later. So I thought, for lack of all else, I would discuss the little adventure that I had today, because like the holidays, I think like some other people are kind of a mixed bag for me. But I am trying to focus on all the many things I have to be grateful for. And today, even though I am more of like a suburban Hobbit girl, like, you know, like I have a whole bag-in situation, like not too into the city, not like too far out. And a lot of the times, you know, I just even prefer to eat in, because it's like, no thank you, I would not like a grand adventure. I have a Nintendo Switch, and I am the possessor of a Papa San chair, so, you know, I'm good.
Oh, you've got it all figured out.
Right, yes, and it's like, into the big city, there are the good restaurants, but, you have to find parking, it's like, you know, it's a whole thing, but today, I was brave and I quested, which is why I'm like actually in a sweater instead of just like cozy clothes. Yeah, and I went to this place called Gemüt Biergarten, where I had a vegan schnitzel, which I didn't know what a schnitzel was before today. But now I've had a vegan one, which is why it was recommended for, because, you know, as a vegetarian, there are only so many options, but it was like a really cool place. I went to, I found the trick of city food eating is you go like super, you have like a Tolkien dinner, which is what I've decided to call it, because I feel like Tolkien has failed, because it's like, you know, there's like 11 C's or whatever. There's all these, there's second breakfast, there's all this stuff for morning eating, but what about when you push dinner super early so you can avoid traffic and wait times to have food and get out early? Right? Yeah, but like, and there's not like a twosies or threesies, there's not like, I feel like Tolkien didn't make a Hobbit name for this.
There's not like a brunch equivalent for lunch and dinner.
But there should be. I mean, this has been a long-running world problem, one of our minor problems that we've yet to solve, along with many of our major problems. So, anyway, yes. And I also had a potato salad. And when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, it's just potatoes. Potatoes. But like,
boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Apparently this is how German potatoes, sorry, I'm very uncultured sometimes. And it was like the dressing on it was so good that I'm like, oh, this is in fact better than like potato salads I've had. And this place was so cool. It had like all these like stained glass windows. I couldn't tell how real versus fake they were. I spent a lot of time trying to figure that out. But they were really cool. Like one is like, there's this like woman with fire hair and like the sun is behind her and also there are flames, and she's either riding two horses at the same time, which is massively impressive, or a horse has two heads, which is, you know, equally kind of impressive. And there's like a wolf arcing in the air towards her face. And it's like, are they friends? Are they about to kiss? Are they fighting? It's unclear. Very unclear, but it's the coolest one. I was very drawn to it. And yeah, but there were like all these big ones to look at. And it was a very successful quest. And even though the pretzel bread pudding I got to go, for dessert, they were out of ice cream, and it's like very sad. But and that was successful. Yeah. So I will talk about my Team Clash playing later in the time. We'll give Lauren a bit of a break, and I'll introduce our next, shining, shimmering co-host. Ben Roller, how was your week in Snap? And please keep it snappy.
Well, my week in Snap, keeping it snappy, as I do without prompting every day. It was a pretty good week in Snap. I played some Team Clash, but we're going to talk about that later is the thing. That's most of the Snap that I played. Didn't play a whole lot of ladder or anything, or Conquest. Haven't found time for Conquest this week. That's such a bummer. But next week is the important one, right? We're not in Infinity territory yet.
You're correct.
Oh, Ben. Okay, sorry, I forgot. I was so excited to tell you, and I totally forgot because of today. Okay, my self-selected Solstice gift. I got Hades 2 for consoles, so I've been playing it a lot again. It's so good. I love it. Okay.
Oh, anyway, that's awesome. Also,
give me your biggest tip that you have, please, as part of your week in Snap.
What are you trying to do in Hades 2 right now? Are you just trying to get clears?
I got to, because I've only had it for a couple days. So, I've had to re-unlock everything from my brief time of playing it on PC. Mm-hmm. And the very last thing I did last night before I got too sleepy, there's been a lot of sleepy playing, was I unlocked, I guess I can go up now? Does that mean I can go to Hades 1 turf? Is that what that is?
Not quite.
No, that's different. But you can go to the surface now? Are you breathing okay?
I just unlocked it. I just cauldroned it.
Oh, so no.
Okay, so you're not breathing okay yet? Do you die when you go up there?
Have you been up yet?
No, I just unlocked it via the cauldron. Also, surprisingly, the Moonstone normally I'm slow weapons, but they're slow, and I'm I like to run around and kite and sprint, and especially when you get the ones where you zap people.
Axe.
But yes, and then it's sometimes you can get the right boons on it, and then when you hold it down and you do the little blitz. No,
Gygaros is the spear. I'm sorry, I've lost all my cred. What's it's a
moon something.
Oh gosh, it's got a name.
Isn't it a Moonstone axe?
They all do. I don't remember.
It is a Moonstone axe for sure.
It's Nymphora or something.
Fancy name.
Yeah, it's got a name. Gosh dang it.
I will agree with you though. I did not like it at first, and it grew on me. Zorafet,
thank you.
I
can tell you who has aspects.
Arachne though?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You should feel for Arachne.
Yeah, good job. You have empathy.
But I was playing, sometimes it's I love that it's all voice acted, but I can read so much faster, and I actually process information faster visually than hearing it, because listening is hard for me. So, so I guess, but I'm always with Arachne. I'm fascinated because it's that position where it's the gods of wronged her, and her really good friend now is just kind of both sidesing it, and she's well, your friend, they literally turned me into a spider. It's real cool that you're well, we all equally here. And I'm Arachne, I feel for you, girl. Okay, anyway. But I also just unlocked the guns, the umbral flames.
The torchies?
Yeah, they're so much fun too.
Yeah,
all the
Ignium.
weapons. Yeah.
Don't they have two names?
I think it's just Ignium.
Okay.
The sister blades have two names. Those are Lim and Auros.
You're right. I skip a lot of dialogue in that too. Not skip it, but skip it before they finish reading it, right? So I enjoy hearing their voices and intonation, but the second half of the dialogue I never hear.
I'm right there with you.
My tip...
I also feel ambivalent about it. What's your tip, Lauren?
My number one tip that Ben would not give you. Okay, maybe he would, but I don't think he would. If you can see yourself ever turning on God mode, turn it on now. Because you can manually control. Basically it reduces how much damage you take, and you can manually control how how much it does, you can cap it out. So you can say, I don't want you to reduce damage by more than 25%. But you have to die to increase it. Every single time you die, it increases just a little bit. So if you think you're ever going to use God mode to like explore endgame stuff, I think it's worth turning on early so that you can start building it up.
Lauren was correct. I would never have given you that advice. Never in a million bajillion years.
See, so here's the difference.
It's good advice. It is good advice.
And I waited until I had beaten both of the final boss type figures once without God mode before turning it on. But then like I wanted to start trying like more advanced stuff, and I could improve my skill level, but like I'm just not going to pour hundreds of hours into this game. I'm going to pour 20s of hours into this game, but I still want to see the content.
Even then, I bet you could get pretty.
I feel like for me though, it's like some ways I'm so old fashioned. Like if I do it, then in some sense I will have like.
See, that is the thing.
Spoiled this place.
Just from. I've known you for a while now, and I feel like maybe I don't know. Give God mode a try. I never have, but give it a try. I don't know. I think Lauren's advice is good.
Here's the thing, though.
You do have to die to get the stuff.
I don't think I finished every single thing you could finish in Hades 1 because I was still busting it out occasionally to pull it out. And I feel like Hades 2 will be like that. It's just like,
right.
And I haven't looked up anything about it. I'm just playing it.
Is it worth it to you to make it a little bit easier in order to see more of the content in the same amount of time that you're going to play it? I don't know. This is my permission to all of you, especially as you're adults and you have more and you have less free time to play your games. It's okay to put them in easy mode if the parts you care about are the story or, getting to see all the different weapons or whatever the case may be.
For sure. It's better to play it on God mode than not play it at all is my, or, just play it however will bring you joy is my, I suspect that there's 100%. There's something within you that likes to be the very best, like no one ever was or whatever. Mm-hmm. You do not shy away. I've noticed that about you, Ree. And I don't know, but this, if you feel like there should be no shame in it because it's there for a reason, and I've known a lot of people to really they swear by it. They swear by God mode. Is that funny? I think it's a little funny.
It's a little
Anywho, do whatever you feel. The option
is there, so everyone can enjoy games at their level, and especially with a lot of the games with really good stories,
I really admire games that implement a story mode or an easy mode that doesn't penalize you for using it. And it just let me penalize myself for it. Like if I don't want to use easy mode, I'll play on a harder difficulty. And there are games that I love and I would love to experience them in a higher difficulty and all that. But also currently I value novelty the most. I want to try more games instead of just pouring all my hours into one game. She says, pouring tons and tons of time into Marvel Snap.
But I guess
it lets me play more games if I play games on easy or normal more often than I play them on hard or whatever's after that.
I've ruined a lot of games for myself, though. To be honest, like the first one was the Nier one with 2D.
Automata?
Yeah, the one where it was
or Automata. Perhaps I don't know.
It's way more fan. I was like, it's not that fan servicey, and then I tried playing it again. I'm like, okay, what's wrong? It's pretty fan service. But anyway, it was like that one. I turned it to easy, but then I got bored because it was easy. And the same thing with one of the Tales games. It was one where it was like the spreadsheets were too much. I'm like, I am not learning these spreadsheets for a a non-long running game, right? There's only so much time right now you're willing to put into like a game you're going to be done with and into learning those systems. And I was like, I'm not doing, so I turned it on to like an auto easy mode. And then I'm like, oh no, it's too easy. I'm bored. And neither of those games did I finish. So now I have this fear of like, making things boring for myself. And this time, the first time I beat Hecate again, I was like, because there's 2 times before that I got like real close and didn't. And then I was like, now it's like cake, like every time. It's
I was messaging Ben throughout my climb, like, I can't imagine myself ever beating this boss. And now it's like I've beaten him tons of times, about half of those times without God mode. I know all the patterns. Like it does feel good to get better.
What keepsakes have you been using, Rhi?
Oh my gosh. Also, okay. I had to split with keepsakes. I did. I am like, do you ever play games in like a punishing way sometimes? I'm trying to stop doing that, where it's like, first I was like, okay, I'm going to get all of the keepsakes I like least out of the way, like max them up, level them up, and then I'll have all the fun ones to play. And then also I'll be better, so I'll be using the better ones at the time I'm better. So I started doing that, and I'm like, well, let me just go from like left to right. And then I'm like, why don't I just play the ones I like? Because like, why don't I just get those ones done? Because, like, eventually I'll play another game probably before I finish out everything here, and I'll just slowly come back to it. Like, and then I was so proud of myself. I'm like, I'm letting myself have fun.
Okay, so which kind of keepsakes do you think are fun? Like, if I know which ones you like that you've unlocked, I'll know which ones you would like if you unlocked them, I think.
I'll probably go for the certain boon ones. I won't lie, I've been using arachnes.
That's a really interesting one. I like that one a lot.
Also, because I'm like, I just like arachne too. So
she's great.
Using that, I'll put on the Nemesis one now occasionally, because like I got the thing where you can swap it out midway, and so it's like, I haven't beaten the Sirens yet, to be honest.
Interesting. They're tough. So that means you haven't met Echo yet. When you meet Echo, you should give her some nectar, because she's got a great keepsake.
Oh, okay. I haven't met Eco yet, but yeah, I've been trying to spread out all the nectar, and I've been using the Lucky Tooth for the extra like Death Defiance.
Ooh, if you like the Lucky Tooth, recently. Could I introduce you to its friend, the Knuckle Bones? That's the Odysseus keepsake, and I like it a little better. Oh wait,
I do have the Odysseus one.
I thought you were going to say the cat.
That's the Guardians one, right?
Yes, Tula's good too. Tula's a good
Isn't
cat.
The Odysseus
but so is
one
Golly.
Just for Guardians, though?
It is, but that's what usually kills me. And getting the damage reduction from the bosses is pretty cool. Also, the free damage on a tough boss, if you equip it right before the final boss, it's pretty good. Also, you might try Morrow's keepsake. Morrow's keepsake is pretty good too. It is like, it's sort of like Stubborn Defiance in the first. I mean, it's not a direct. It's an interesting. It's pretty good. Other keepsakes that I really love: the Chaos keepsake, the Transcendent Embryo. That's a great way to start your day. The Narcissus keepsake, Narcy. That's my guy right there. Ooh, baby, you got to get that aromatic vial. It lets you just like you pick up a common thing early on, and then you can swap keepsakes before you use the fountain. And if you do that at the start of the second region or between the first and second regions, you can sort of guarantee a certain common boon you picked up will become like whatever rarity. If you max out the keepsake, it'll go all the way up to heroic. So like you can, if you see a boon you like, you know, and you're like, oh no, it's common, I don't like settling for a common smolder ring, you can do that, and then you can guarantee that it turns heroic as long as it's the only common boon you have. Or you can have a 50-50 at turning it heroic. I don't know. Point is, the Narcissus keepsake is super cool. But yeah, if you like the ones that are like defensively handy, like the Arachne one or the Luckier Tooth. I love the Luckier Tooth. I think that's so cool how it's
such a good one early in the game.
One more point than the Lucky Tooth. It's so
that's
silly.
Also great, yeah.
And it leaves room for a Luckiest Tooth. That
Ooh,
gives you 102 on a revive.
I'm a little behind. I was playing too late, and a lot of times I would be running out of out the door and then be like, wait, no, that's like a specter grasp, but a guy I could have got, like, missing out on resources.
Oh, there will be an incantation in the cauldron that will solve all of that for you soon enough. I think you just have to talk to Selene and maybe slip her some. Oh, she's got a great keepsake.
This is my favorite. Now she does a thing where she's like, "Don't leave yet," and I'm like, "Oh, you're the best. I love you." Oh, I love how we're the Silver Sisters. Oh, I want that in real life.
They're amazing.
Secret society.
They are amazing. Yeah.
Silver Sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Selene's is my favorite, and then maybe Medea's after that.
She's so
but that's
pretty.
a much more offensive weapon.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Every time I see Selene, I'm just like, oh, so serene.
I think she was the first character I maxed.
Okay, well,
the relationship.
I'm always happy to be talking about Hades 2 in my weekend snap.
Impromptu.
I actually haven't played too much Hades 2 this week. I think I did like one session of fresh file grind and still trying to get that good time on night one. That good time. But what I was actually going to talk about that wasn't Marvel Snap in my weekend snap, I was going to actually, I don't usually do this. I'm going to tell people not to play a game. And, Loop Hero, kind of a stinker. That's my opinion. I'd heard
played
things
Loop Hero.
Yeah,
I like
spoken fondly of it before.
My cup of tea, but I felt like I was misspending my time as I played it. I was like, "Is this?" I just didn't like. I you know, it does all the tricks. You know, it gets. I did like that there was a lot to explore. Like I enjoyed learning how things worked without looking things up, because there's a lot of complexity there, but there's also a lot of really just like mindless repetition and like doing the same stuff over and over. And I found that I just didn't feel like it respected my time, and it wasn't like. I don't know. I'll probably play some more, but like, I just didn't feel. I felt stupid for playing it, and I will probably still continue to feel stupid for playing it. But I will play a bit more because I am curious and I like the discovery. But like, there are so many more fulfilling games that I like to play. I don't know.
Well, I don't know that it gets better, so I wouldn't force yourself to play. I think I got a few good hours out of it. I really enjoyed the idea and the initial discovery, but then I hit a wall that I think is exactly what you're saying, where I stopped discovering new things. I felt like I was going to have to go look up, like, it's like I feel like I should be progressing to somewhere, and I'm not, right? And I do, like, what do I need to do that? And I'm tired of having to play like games with a guide. Basically, I want the game to be enjoyable to discover, and that's where it hit the wall for me. And maybe like, you just hit there really fast, and it's like, well, now it's not fun anymore because I don't want to look up how to do stuff.
Yeah, I've given it some hours, but I don't like the game. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just not. I don't know. I thought I would mention it because it's, you know, it does have cards in it, and there are some similar. It is similar in some ways to other games that I like to talk about, but like I don't love all of them. You know, some of them. When I recommend them, it's because I really think they're good, and you'll be happier for playing them. And this is one where I'm like not so sure. I guess if I'm going to talk about one more, no, I'm not going to talk about one more. I'm just glad we got to talk so much about Hades 2. I played some Marvel Snap, but I played with a new card. I played a limited time mode that we're going to talk about later. So I guess
there's
my weekend snap is going to really be living in the later segments. But
that's right.
I'm just so glad that we got to talk about Hades 2. Wow. That's delightful.
I think the Loop Hero thing goes to our conversation about difficulty, right? It's such a hard thing to tune, like making sure that discovery feels fun and that it's ongoing. But like if it's too hard to earn progress, then like that's yucky. But if it's too easy to earn progress, it doesn't feel like anything you earned or any discovery or anything like that. It feels like you're just, it might as well be an idle clicker where there's no skill. It's just about the time you put in. I think it's hard to find that sweet spot. And I'm impressed by devs who find it, especially at multiple skill levels or difficulty levels. Anyway, my week in Snap, mostly in Team Clash and trying to get practice with the new cards. So we'll talk about that later. I did grind out 3 cool clips this week, which was fun to do. I had taken a few weeks off of doing that, trying to get 4th location ready. So check them out on my Twitter or Blue Sky, or I ended up putting them on 4th location YouTube. I know I talked about doing it on Snap on this YouTube before, but that's where they are. Just the new ones. I still have a whole stable of old ones I don't know what I'm going to do with. Anyway, let's get into it. I can talk a little bit about my week. It was holiday week, and I got to spend a lot of time with family, which is nice. I'm looking forward to spending more time with them this weekend. One of my nieces is 8, almost 8. One of those. And we've been close for a while, and it's fun to see her finally, like, when the groups split up between the little kids and the everybody else. She is this year for the first time in the everybody else group. So she's playing like Jackbox with us and playing Telestrations with us. And like,
that's
it's not everything, but like there's a handful of things she's been able to join on, and it's been really fun to see and to connect with her on. And then my other niece is like just turned 3 and is very shy, and so it's hard to, it's a slow process, the warming up this relationship, but got to help her with some block puzzles this year, and that was fun to get that one-on-one time with her. So that is my favorite part of the holidays so far.
Edge. Sorry, you said something about block puzzles, and somebody in the audience will love that I said Edge.
Okay. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. The people who played Catherine. Thank you. Yeah. It took me a second. And I have played that quite a bit. Probably nowhere near as much as you, though.
There's literally no way you
no human on Earth.
There may be others, but I'm just a freak.
I think I'm older than you, but yeah, there's no way possible that I could have.
I've never stopped playing Catherine.
Yeah, it's good. My child surprised me with she sent us to bed on Christmas Eve night and said, "You're stuck in your rooms. If the dog needs to go outside, send him down to me." Okay. And I woke up that morning for the first time with the kind of excitement of a child that hadn't had since I was, 18-ish. And Reggie had put a bunch of time into cleaning up the main floor, which has never recovered from wedding planning. So that was quite the treat, and an impressive gift from a 14-year-old, if you ask me.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Hey. Yeah, I also got a coupon book promising even more main floor cleaning. So,
wow.
Yeah, put them to work. Let's talk about last week's cards. I didn't check with you ahead of time. Do either of you have anything new you want to say about either Maverick or Marrow?
Maverick still owns bones, and I guess so does Marrow. Outside of her body.
Thematically, yeah.
But not on the gameplay level of Maverick, in my opinion. Yeah. I have seen her around. Folks are trying. I love it. Love to see it.
Okay. Let's talk about this week's cards. And we're lumping Wild Child and Fastball Special in here because they, you had to play an event to get them. Mm-hmm. So, Wild Child, 2/1, ongoing, +4 power if you've discarded a card, +4 power if I threw myself off because I started questioning if I read it wrong, and I don't know if I did. +4 power if you've discarded a card, +4 power if one of your cards has been destroyed. If you ask me, the star of the destroy discard hybrid. That's what I said before we even got to play with him. I am so far in agreement, although I don't know if that still do not feel very good about that deck's long-term viability. But Wild Child is a big card if you do it, if you do the thing.
Yeah.
I've seen people doing it in Team Clash. Helps that Wolverine destroys himself for you. And then you just Gambit to get the other proc.
Yeah, I've seen Wild Child around. I haven't gotten to play Wild Child yet, but somebody, the ancient one, Dao Mandala, Wild Child on me, and they won the shit out of that game, I'll tell you.
Yo, that's cool.
That's a great way to throw like 24 power, or well, not 24, an extra 16 that I like wasn't expecting into that lane. And yeah, I mean, like, they gave me all the clues, Mr. Policeman or whatever. Like, I saw them play the ancient one. I saw them play Wild Child, did not put 2 and 2 together, and got absolutely rocked. So that's one cool thing you can do with this card. And I'm sure there's more. I mean, we've already discussed you can Moonstone it up pretty good, pretty easy. Yeah, just a real neat card. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to get to play more regular Snap, because I haven't really gotten to play a ton of regular Snap since it's joined the world. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know Wild Child even better and losing to it in more exciting ways. Any Ree, have you run into the Wild Child?
Honestly, I'm like, oh yeah, I have seen some, but he's not made waves in my world for someone called Wild Child. I'm like, kind of
pretty tame.
So people have got to have made the Wild Child joke, I feel like.
It rhymes.
I can segue us into Fastball Special if everyone's done talking about.
Yeah, let it rip.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I've mostly been stuck in Team Clash. I did do my immediate thought, and I put it in as a backup for a Sauron deck. And it was fun. It was, it's a good backup for Sauron, because, it gets rid of a card you don't want around, but it wasn't, exciting, because it's just, more of the Sauron deck. It's like how I imagine, FIFA game enjoyers feel when they get a new version of the game. It's like, oh, but it's kind of the same thing as last year, right? It's it works, but it's not exciting. Anyway, and then I saw out in the wilds that people are of course just using it with Galactus. I'm like, oh, okay, yes, of course, of course, that's where people went with it. It makes sense. Anytime that Galactus is big, though, is a good time to pull out Valk. But
it's a really fun finisher. Falking the Hobgoblin after they successfully Galactus you.
Yeah. I haven't seen these. I haven't really had an opportunity to learn what people are doing with Fastball Special so much. I only just got mine today with the Team Clash. But are they doing Galactus on 6 with Fastball Special with 8 energy, or are they? What's the pattern? What are they doing?
It's a good question.
It's the same point as Hobgoblin. The idea is they're forcing really negative power into a lane, so you can.
But do they do it in 1 turn or 2?
I think it's usually 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
You could do Sarah. Sarah's enough to do Fastball Special and Galactus in the same turn.
It is.
But then but then you have to have big power on an earlier turn. But there's cards that can do that, right? Like Starbrand is a big guy.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like a very strong card. I certainly think so. I thought so.
I have no idea if other people have been doing this in real decks, but in my clip version of this, I was doing it in the same turn. I was using Astral Projection to do the Galactus.
Oh.
So it was Starbrand, Man Spider, and then Fastball Special Astral Projection. And then it's negative 60. It doesn't matter that Astral Projection doesn't have any
there's
power.
No body. Yeah. That sounds really cool.
It was fun.
I haven't seen the clip.
I don't think it should be good. I don't think it should be a widespread thing, but it's fun. I love this card. I think it is great. And if we have to have skills, take that bit aside, this is a very cool card. And I think the most skill-ish of all the skills.
Absolutely.
This is actually a real skill you bring into battle with you.
If every skill were Fastball Special, or like, you know, like at least get a fun sound effect in there, like a snikt or a bamf or a thwip, you know, like something like that. Like I would respect
thwip would be a
so
lot
much
better
more
than web
a
slang.
deafening chord. Fuck is that?
A majestic wing beat.
Yeah, you know what majestic wing beat is? That's a great name for a Magic the Gathering card.
Yeah. It's just generic fantasy term.
Or there's like brand of Shaolao next month. It's like, how is that a skill? That's not a skill. Having a brand, having a tattoo or whatever.
Yeah.
A magical marking. I don't know what the brand of Shaolao is, but it's not a skill. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, this card is very cool. It's cool to have a cheap way to destroy stuff.
Another
my
one.
favorite. And my favorite thing I've seen people doing with it is a deck that does lots of cheap destroy and lots of revive. I think it was a Jet deck because he's like the Phoenix Force guy. But yeah, I played somebody who revived their Fire Lord like 4 times, and it got big. And they didn't win, but it was cute.
There's a point with Morgan Le Fay where it gets like bounced, right? I'm like, I don't have to think about this so much. Like the order that I'm gonna destroy and revive stuff.
Managing your hand size and stuff like who is Elixir gonna revive versus who Adamantium Infusion or Phoenix Force or Firelord is going to revive. Like they all have slightly different targets.
See, it all sounds fun until you start laying out the choices, and then I'm like,
it sounds real fun.
Have fun, not chess.
Also, the listeners don't know about it because it's still under construction, but like you two have seen the prototype 200 bad guys with swords, and now I'm like wondering, is that a Fastball Special deck? I don't know. Maybe it is. Could very well be. But it's real. And it's out there, folks. So start speculating, or don't. You probably have better things to do with your brain. But someday soon I will.
I think the point being, we have like critical mass on cheap destroyers and ways to revive cards.
Yeah, Firelord is such a cool card. I'm so glad Firelord is getting there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say if being in a Jet deck counts as getting there, because there aren't that many people who can play Phoenix Force that well.
Well, I'm playing Firelord without Phoenix Force, and I will say Firelord feels like a card that is getting there.
Ooh. Okay. One more card that just came out this week, Aurora, a 6/6 on reveal. I was going to say just like yesterday, but it's been several days. Give one of your other on reveal cards at each location +2 power. Repeat for ongoing, activate, and end of turn. Did you get her? What do you think? Have you played against her, etc.?
I'll go ahead, I guess. I did not get her, but I will mention the coolest thing. I have seen quite a bit of her out in the wilds, and the coolest thing I thought I saw someone do with her was like a ones zoo deck, because it's like, that does work with like Marvel Boy, who is end of turn. You can copy some stuff, and with with a deck where you've got a lot of little cards, you do kind of want some big cards to play out when your hand gets emptier. So it looked kind of fun. I was like, if I had Aurora, I would be doing this with her right now. What did you guys get her?
I did.
Oh, you did? What'd you do?
I was on the fence. I wasn't sure, but it's not really what I did. Safety seemed to be having fun with her.
Okay.
And there have been travels and holiday things, and so I sort of like I haven't really I brought my laptop with me on my travels, but for simplicity's sake and keeping things mostly packed up in the hotel room so I didn't have to worry about losing things, I never actually did anything with I thought maybe I would get stranded somewhere and I would need the laptop for the podcast, so that's why I had it with me. But basically I've like been on social media and internet blackout for the past several days until today, but I don't know if Safety has built a better version of this deck, but he had a day one Aurora cook that I jotted down and built, and it's really fun. It's a pretty cool deck. I'll tell you what's in it. Aurora's Angels. That's Nico Minoru, Spider-Ham, Hydra Bob, Captain America, Herbie, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Cosmo, Copycat, Juggernaut, Stardust, The Thing First Steps, and Aurora. And it's really fun. Wins games. It's got that safety blade quality where it's big pile of cards with Cosmo and Juggernaut and some good one costs. And I get to play Herbie. I love playing Herbie. Herbie is a good card. I've been saying it for a long time. It's I'm having fun. The mix of on reveals and ongoings and activates and end of turns, Aurora just puts up the numbers in a way that I've never really seen Spectrum do. And some of these cards like having higher numbers, higher numbers help a Herbie double, higher numbers help with the thing murder something larger. There's just also Cosmo and Juggernaut are really good cards that I never want to put in decks that I build. But when I play these safety decks, I'm just I should be playing more Cosmo and Juggernaut. Also Copycat, that's one that I have been playing and is always good. And it was so nice to play Stardust again, although I do miss that 7th point of power. Gosh, what were they thinking? Well, they thought better of it, and it's for the best, but I still miss that 4/7 Stardust. But yeah, Aurora feels like a pretty real card to me. That's my opinion. I think the just not forcing you to play exclusively ongoing, that's actually a much bigger advantage than I had really given her credit for to begin with. I was like, how much better than Spectrum can she be? But kind of a lot. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. A lot better than Spectrum. She feels like to me, and based on all the decks I'm seeing everybody play, she is mid-range that's real right now, or the good card slop. It's you either take the Aurora path or the Werewolf by Night path. And those are the two versions that can compete in the meta right now. So it's cool that we got diversity in the meta that way. It's there's now another way to do mid-range. Because you get tech cards that she can hit, and there are some ongoing tech cards, but that's not really what the Spectrum deck is doing. It's not taking a tech heavy approach. Cosmo's kind of its only big tech card. Mm-hmm. I finished. I was trying to play her for the podcast, but it's just hard to play 6s. And I finished the weekend mission for her without having actually played her a single time. I staged her once, and my opponent retreated. So maybe if her setup is good enough, she just doesn't even matter how good she is. Her animation surprised me. She runs out like Makari does, and it's that's not what I was expecting to happen at all.
Around. Super speed is the power. I played Aurora in HeroClix, and she was pretty good there. Hypersonic speed, all that. It was a very strong ability in HeroClix. Pretty broken. I thought of one thing I heard Scott's voice in my head when I was contemplating buying Aurora, because when we had him on the podcast, he asserted that I don't like to play 6 costs, and he's that nobody plays 6 costs, and I was like, no, that's not true. And he's like, yes, Ben, we know you play Heimdall and Magneto, but I was like, no, I've seen other people play other 6 costs. I know they're out there. I know they're good sometimes. But he put the doubt in me. I was like, do I really want this Aurora? Would this be foolishness? Is Scott right? Are 6 costs garbage? And no, I think 6 costs are just as real as cards at other costs. And but he had me wondering, because Scott is sometimes right about some things, and I thought he might have been right about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall it's not a super important card to get. She's kind of a fun deck building puzzle, but honestly, the versions that are going to be the most competitive in the meta, if you care about that, I think it's just going to be minor variations on the same pile of good cards. I've seen mixed responses on Thanos. I've seen some people not high on the Thanos one, even though some of the stones get +4 power from her. I haven't been able to try that yet.
Yeah, I'm a little scared. I've played against the Thanos one, but I haven't played it myself. And I felt like Safety's Aurora deck seemed to be winning against those. Or maybe it was only one matchup, but I don't know. I did. Yikes! Forgot to silence my phone. Anywho,
I think you might be missing something by investing in Aurora, because it means you have to play Thanos on 5. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yep.
And unless you haven't played your Time Stone, and then in that case, you're doing like the Thanos versus Aurora thing. But like, if you did get Thanos down on 5, then on 6 you can do things like finish the set of stones so that he's bigger and stronger, or play tech cards, or like, I don't know. It just feels like there's better things for that deck to be doing than throwing a few extra power at the stones.
Yeah, and specifically with that extra power on these the 2 keyword stones, those, like, what I noticed playing Aurora with the safety list was that it's not the best way to win is by playing the best cards in the best places, not by sweating the origami of like, well, I must have one ongoing in each lane and I can't double up on reveals in any lane. No, it's just like, play good cards where they belong and play Aurora at the end, and you'll have enough power. Even if like you could have, optimized more, it's really just about playing good cards correctly.
Yeah, it's like diversify where you can, but like don't make a bad play for 2 extra power.
It's like you're missing the forest for the trees.
Okay, let's get a vibe check on next week's card. Fantomex, the apparent hero of the discard destroy archetype. 4/6, activate. If you've had cards both discarded and destroyed, afflict front row enemy cards at each location with -2 power. Do you think this deck's going to be good enough to be real?
I mean, the deck might be good enough, but this card is like,
You think so?
I don't like it.
You think Fantomex is stinky poo-poo?
It's a 4-cost activate.
It's pretty yucky.
Danger's pretty good. I've seen Danger in some Aurora decks. I remember a card called Fantasticard that offered a similar amount of power and stuff.
But that does all the cards in your deck.
Yeah, but this does 6 cards in your opponent's deck.
And still activate. Like, I'd rather play the thing for steps. Like, I would rather, well,
that's a 5 cost.
The thing for steps is a 5 cost now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the thing for steps is a great card. I've been playing it in that safety deck. It kills things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm against this. I just feel like for things you'd rather do. I don't know. I personally don't like it. That's all. It might be good. I don't know.
I'm pretty low on it. I think it'll be cool when it happens, but I don't think it's going to be reliable enough.
I mean, the unreliable part is the 4-cost activate thing, but like we've seen with Wild Child that like it's not that hard to fulfill this condition because it's the exact same.
And then what? You got like -4 power. You're like, woohoo, 4 power.
I mean,
-4 power in 3 lanes. It's not bad.
Power. Yeah. It's a 418 when everything hits. Like, that's sort of undeniable. That's like, that's like Doom 2099.
Comprehension anymore.
Like,
it's all good.
Okay, it is better than I thought, but like, it's still a 4-cost activate. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't love the 4-cost activate in this. Yeah, there is. Yeah. I think that feels pretty real.
Jigcast is important for this, that you can play this on the last turn.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I think it's also
you can play this in Wild Child.
Double dip. Yeah, you should play this in Wild Child.
To set this off, we're talking about like Jigcast. We're talking about cards that neither discard nor destroy, but you're still wanting to pull this off. And it's like you're already trying to do 2 things in a 12-card deck: discard and destroy, which is already like a lot. You're
not going for volume. You're just going for like 1 instance of each.
One of each.
Yeah.
But you have to have enough redundancy in your deck that you can reliably do one of each.
You'll have more than one source of each effect.
I think it's probably going to be like 3 sources of each. I think it's going to be real. Like, it's going to be playable. And I think like Fantomex's numbers are big enough that like it can compete with the good decks. Just can it? How reliably? And how many cubes are you getting when you don't pull it off?
Right, and you're putting out your Wild Child, and you're putting out all these activate stuff, and I'm just like, Red Guardian, like, boom. Like,
well, the Wild Child can come out on the last turn. That's fine.
I don't know. Things that are telegraphed are so easy. It just feels like rage bait. I just feel bad. Like, I see people doing these intricate setups, and I'm just like, common tech card halts you. Sorry, buddy, but like, I've got the card. I'm gonna play it. Like,
while we're engaging with the Jocasta thing, which I'm not sure is the only way to play this card. I'm not sure you need Jocasta to be Fantomexing. I think it's definitely one cute avenue we could walk down. And while we're walking down it, let us think about the intersection of activate and destroy. That reminds me of, another Fastball Special type card, that old Kid Omega, Quentin Meyer. That's a card that seems pretty good, and maybe getting its effect twice would be at the very least cute and, possibly practical under the right circumstances. I'm not sure what those circumstances are because I don't really like the card and I haven't been playing it. So I don't know this guy like that, but I'm not sure there's nothing there. I think it's at least worth thinking about.
All right. Well, see what we think next week. I
got a hunch this one's strong.
I'm more excited about Fantomex personally. I don't think it's going to have a bigger impact on the meta than Aurora, but I'm more excited to play it. It feels more novel. But that could also just be a busy week than Aurora.
Destroy could be a whole new thing. I shouldn't be poo-pooing it.
We'll see.
Excited for more reasons to play X23.
Yeah, always like a new archetype that can be somewhat real. That's always a good thing to add to the game. Okay, let's talk about Team Clash. I think we already talked about it some last week. And by the time our listeners hear this, the earliest listeners, there will only be like a day left of Team Clash. But, we can review it and see what you thought. How do you feel about a 10-day long mode asking you to complete missions frequently and not burn your tickets and all that?
Oh, I burned all kinds of tickets. I burned so many tickets.
I did.
I don't like it.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, like, I don't like the feeling of burning tickets. I actually found myself having more and more fun with the game mode the more I played it and the more license I felt to get experimental with it. At first, I was just like, gosh, this is a lot to take in. And one of my big complaints that is still my big complaint is that, like, the extended rosters are not exactly equally distributed. There's a shit ton of Avengers and X-Men and no Guardians of the Galaxy. So, like, you can have a lot more fun experimenting with Avengers decks and X-Men decks, and you can take them in all sorts of different directions. I ended up doing Surfer Avengers because that's what felt good to me. That felt like all the flavors I enjoy. But, like, not a lot of room to get creative with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, all the good extra Guardians, those are the best ones in the precon. Like, there aren't, those are the only, they're hot garbo. There's no synergy for the Collector. So you could be playing the Collector, but, like, why would you be playing the Collector? They're just, man, I just felt so bad for the Guardians. And they've got Howard. I never tried him, but they've got him. But, like, the list is so short. And of course I found that list on 4th location where all the good information lives. But yeah, but the stuff that was fun to build for was fun to build for. They have the seed of a good idea here for sure. Although it's not something I necessarily was clamoring for because I've played a lot of other collectible games, some of which involve the Marvel IP, and I'm like a little bit tired of matchy. Let's play all the X-Men together. Let's play, it's like I've played Versus System, I've played Hero Clicks, like I'm just let them commingle. I mean, you could do that in HeroClix mostly, unless you were playing in themed tournaments where you had to play themed teams, and the local HeroClix judge was very fond of those. So maybe that's just a thing that I'm tired of for very specific reasons, but I'm not even that tired of it. I don't know. It's cool to play themed things. I don't know. Yeah, it's a neat mode. I like it so much better than a lot of the other modes. Not Sanctum, but a lot of the other modes. Wish it had snaps. Don't know how it couldn't have just had snaps. If they'd added snaps, like when you do something clever, it feels really good to snap about it. I don't know. What did y'all think of Team Clash? Also, are we going to talk about specific decks? Because what if it comes back? What if somebody wants to play our fun decks? I don't know. Should we? Is that a waste of time? Who can say?
I think it's
somebody
fine.
else talk.
No, I want to hear what Ree thought about the mode overall.
Okay. I am not bummed out on having to play the mode, but it's just I did spend the gold on the pass, and I'm not done with the track, and I have been trying to play, have a little bit healthier relationship with the game, but I've been playing pretty much every day. And it's how am I not done with the track? And there's still 2 days, and I'm kind of worried I won't fish it. And that's not a good feeling, because I assumed I would be playing overly much. And I did. I've gotten both the cards, but it's so that's kind of my bummer, is that that's happening, and I still that means I haven't gotten to play ladder forever, or conquest, and that's stuff I want to do too. So I like the mode, but the fact that it's I've had to play that pretty exclusively. I had started, I was just doing pre-cons, but I did enjoy how easy they made it to go in. Once I was okay, I do kind of want to play, and it's so easy. Like I said, even for someone who's I don't have time to do a whole deck building, a whole cooking, I don't have time to get in the kitchen. It's still just half the deck's already there. It's almost playing draft mode. You know what I mean? You have a limited selection, right, with the ability. So it was kind of fun to put it together. And I very much Inigo Montoya'd it. I mean, in that how I choose my cards, it's guide me. Spirit of dead card games that exist still in my brain, and then it's just card I like, tag cards that can be a surprise. And I built, you can tell which decks I enjoyed most. I mean, kind of following what Ben said, I did not build a custom deck for the Guardians. I did not build a custom deck for Spider-Verse, and I pretty much only play those when the missions have me do it. But I did make Avengers. Of course, Hulkling is in it. I did do an X-Men. That White Queen is a joy in, because you have so much energy. So if there's something big and juicy for you to play, you almost always have the energy to play it if you've been X-Menning all over the place.
Very resourceful.
So, yeah. Cool. And I have more White Queen. I don't know. I'm always looking to play more White Queen and Rogue. Oh, this has been such a great mode for Rogue and X-Men. There's just so much stuff for her to steal. It's been glorious. But the deck I've been enjoying most is Thunderbolts. I already mentioned that I just love a Toxie Doxie, and this is Toxie Doxie free of her downside.
Yeah, on her best day.
I'm so used to just dealing with her, Corvus Glaive will yell at, or when he used to be so much better now, but when he used to discard cards I didn't want in Toxie Doxie, it's okay, I was planning to play that next turn, but all right. You could have hit Jeff. Jeff was right there. Anyway, it's still fun enough because I put together, it's the Thunderbolt. So, Cage US Agent and Man Thing is a whole little package for it. And they're great, surprises too. To either put down the Cage on the last turn, so they miscounted what they needed, even on the lane you had filled, so they kind of thought you were done there, or throwing down the Man Thing or US Agent, where they've put down a lot of, Man Thing has won a lot of games. Once, in a game I just played, I got a random ancient one, and I just I made everything. I made a -1. Yeah, sorry.
I have a question. I don't have the lists in front of me. I was just wondering, are either Cage or Man Thing, are they extended roster Thunderbolts by any chance? Because they've got a long list as well.
Hey, you can see in the icon in the art that all of them have icons. I was actually going to comment. I'm impressed that Ree has all of her off team is also.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, is this in the show notes? I didn't.
Oh, you're not looking at the show notes. Okay, yeah. All 3 of Ree's decks are fully 12 members of the team.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea Luke Cage was on Thunderbolts. Like, I've seen people playing a little bit of Luke Cage in the mode, but I had no idea he was Thunderbolts.
Right? It's so good. So it works with everything. Like, that's how I did it. It was fun for me to play it like draft where everything hits it. Like in Avengers, especially stuff, you just want everything to be hitting. And I like figuring out what tech I can win with, right? Like what tools. I always need like 1 or 2 tools in a deck, like tech, to win out against other decks. And in this one, okay, this is where the Thunderbolt, I just went through Thunderbolts and I'm like, all right, you can see where, the power is coming from in this deck. Like what all tech can I put in it? I have Electra in it, which is just so good to take out, like, right? Because the other decks that are out there. So it's like, yeah, just kill a Nebula, just kill a Rocket. Good stuff. They still don't expect it always on turn 6 to lose that much power. And just to be cheeky and cute, I put in Batroc the Leaper when I have no movers in the deck. But because like you hit the Spider-Verse, sometimes Avengers are playing like
a lot of
Sam Wilson, Captain America. Yeah, and stuff. So there's a lot of times where Batroc has just been like, it's just been helpful. And it's like, it's been a lot of, that one and X-Men have been my 2 most fun to play. So yeah, it's been a joy. I wish that it didn't like take over everything, but and yeah, I kind of agree about that. Some of them are just kind of a bummer to play. Although I can still win with Guardians, like.
Oh,
but I'm always fine. And they needed to limit the mode where you couldn't get it. Like it's happened to I think most of us, where one of your missions was just like play every single deck. It's like,
I saw somebody with a screenshot where it was 6 missions, a full set, and it asked you to play 5 different decks.
Yeah,
right?
That can be a bit frustrating.
Different ones.
Yeah, for the missions, I liked having missions that asked you to play other decks. It both encouraged me to try other decks that I might not have if I had already found one that I vibed with. And also, it improved the diversity of the metagame, right? But I am not a fan of the missions that ask you to win with another deck, especially a lot of times.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to win that many times with Guardians. I will burn more than 4 tickets winning with them 4 times. Overall, I like it. It's still a mode that I like, but I think it's my least favorite of the modes I like, which means I hold it only over high voltage. And I'm trying to figure out why. It's like really hard to disentangle it from the economy. It's also, I did not do a lot of deck building in this mode, and I think I had the most fun when I was deck building in it. Like one of the clips I got this past week was in this mode. I did a silly Weapon X clip using the X-Men deck because I realized this was my original plan was for it to be a Jocasta stack with a Tuma and X-23, and that's how I'm going to do my giant Weapon X. And then I realized Team Clash Wolverine destroys himself. So he does a Tuma's job and he gains power, so he does X-23's job better because he can win a lane on his own. And so I had a lot of fun when I was being silly and crafting with the mode, but mostly like the economy feels so tight. So like on day 1, I was playing my own decks and they weren't doing great. And rather than like trying to learn the mode better and build better decks, I just like, okay, I'll just net deck and use the decks that people are saying are working great. And like I had fun with those. Ultimately, one of my favorite Avengers decks was one that Smiles made, and I think I brought them up last week. One of my favorite deck overall for the entire mode was actually a high Evo deck with X-Men.
Oh, nice.
And literally the only high Evo card in it is Hulk, and I had people tell me that's bad. Like, why wouldn't you just run Galactus for Steps or Red Hulk or even the Infinite? And it's like, okay, but Hulk doesn't show them that he's scaling. I won so many lanes by being able to play an 18 to 22 power Hulk. And then you have Warlock in your deck. What's that? Yeah, 614 as a base, right? And he doesn't show your opponent when he's scaling. So like that combination, actually, I thought it was worth running high Evo.
Oh yeah,
even though he's kind of a dead draw card
that just had evolved Abomination and I think evolved Thing, and like it's worth it for a little splash of the Evo juice sometimes. Yum.
I was gonna say, Ben's posting his decks now. It's like I'm impressed that Ree
the show notes mid show.
I'm impressed that Ree had 12 of like the only deck where I did that was Avengers. My final versions of the others X-Men deck had 3 X-Men. Well, I should say 9 X-Men. Thunderbolts had 9. Guardians of the Galaxy only had 6 Guardians, which goes to Ben's point of saying it's a short roster. I don't have any of them in my bottom row. I did Surfer Guardians. That was actually super fun.
Cool.
Because Sebastian Shaw and Superior Spider-Man are both great things to put in the Guardians lane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then something I saw somebody point out, but I never tried doing anything with it, is Kitty Pryde. Seems really cool in a Guardians deck.
Oh, that's smart.
She gets the extra point every single time. Still haven't tried that. Maybe I will. I don't know. And then Spider-Verse, I'm at 11. Hydra Stomper's the only one there who's not on the team. Yeah, I agree that those two were my least favorite. The Spider-Man, or the what is it, Spider-Verse and Guardians. They just don't feel as strong. My favorite was X-Men overall. It's just fun having that much energy. And I don't know, I want to like the mode more. And I kind of wish that it just wasn't so demanding to keep up with the modes, right? Like I got both cards and I got one emo. I got the Mobius emo, and that was my goal. I got all those things for free asterisk. I put about 200 gold into mission refreshes just to figure out how they work, because I didn't think the way Griffin said they worked was probably how they actually worked.
Were you correct about that?
Yeah, they work like high voltage, where they cycle every single time. They rotate. But I had to spend some gold to prove that. But like I finished it with days to spare, so it totally would have been doable for free to get 2 new cards and an emo. And like that's a good deal, but like I don't want to spend that much time in the game I like in 10 days playing this event. Like what if I didn't like this event at all? I'm sure there are players who that's the case.
It's a very like I said last week, it's a very reasonable way to feel. Like if that's how you feel,
you're not obligated. Like 6,000 tokens worth of new cards. Like it feels like something I have to do instead of something I get to do. And like most other games I play, like events are fun and exciting. They're ways that you tell people to come play this game. And you could argue that for some modes, right? Like some like Arena is really fun. Sanctum's really fun for some people. I know some people disagree. But
I know a lot of folks
it's mine and Ben's and Scott's favorite mode. And so it's like, yeah, I will play that mode even if there's nothing to earn. I just like playing that because it's a fun mode to play. But then there's all these other modes where I feel obligated, and no, thank you. I don't want that in my game. And so I don't know how they balance that. I know that it will never be balanced fully towards making it a good game, because it's also a free to play game and they need to monetize that friction. But I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm
going to look at Ben's decks now. Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm gonna compare them to the pre-built ones. They do have each of my custom decks has 3 of the same cards as the pre-built ones, but 3 different cards, which is interesting, I guess. So let me tell you about those Avengers. I've got the 6 basic ass Avengers. I think that the actual cards in the Avengers deck are all pretty darn good, and some of the decks I think have like, of their base 6 cards, I think like there might be a stinker or 2 in some of these decks, and I don't think any of the Avengers are stinkers, although I think Team Clash Thor is probably maybe Team Clash Vision. I don't know. Those 2 I'm a little iffy about, but what I've got are America Chavez, because Surfer. That's right. I warned you. It's a Surfer deck. Then Jeff, because I miss playing Jeff in Surfer. I actually, in October, I think it was, I was playing Jeff again for a week when I just wasn't seeing much move, and I'd been playing Mercury. This was before I started playing Mercury and Cannonball together in Surfer. But like, I was like, I get to play Jeff again, because Jeff historically has been a cool Surfer friend. Then I got Brood, Captain Carter, Silver Surfer, and Maverick. Yes, he's that good that we just you gotta have him. And my X-Men deck, which again had 3 of the cards that are also in the pre-con X-Men. The 6 cards I've got are Jim Hammond, Human Torch, Surge, Prodigy, Juggernaut, Legion, and Magneto. Because he's so Magneto. Anyway, I had great fun with those, and they seem to win a lot, especially the Avengers Surfer one, because I feel like a lot of people just weren't expecting. They're not ready for. They're like, how are you going to fill that Captain Carter lane? I know what cards you have. You're never filling that Captain Carter lane.
Avengers lets Carter be a decoy, or it lets Carter hide, right? Normally she's like, duh, this is a surfer deck.
Exactly. Same thing with America Chavez.
Yeah.
They don't know that I'm just doing what I always do.
That's great.
For my custom X-Men, I think the only particularly interesting things I have to say about that are that Prodigy is such a fun card. Gosh, I just love playing Prodigy. It's fun to copy a Team Clash Wolverine, especially with Prodigy. I think that's the most fun card to copy. But, there are lots of good things to copy. Juggernaut is always a cool thing to copy with Prodigy. And Jim Hammond. I've got Jim Hammond, which is in the regular X-Men deck, but I think he's just so much better than Sunspot, even though Sunspot has the X-Men icon. I really, really enjoyed those two decks.
I made some very big Sunspots.
I was like, what I like about Sunspot too is then you can lock that lane with a Professor X, but still grow power into it. You know what I mean?
You could do that with Jim Hammond also.
But he can't get as big as a really big Suns, right? He's only.
I think normally that's true, but I don't know about in the X-Men deck.
Okay.
I don't know. I just know what seemed to be working for me, and I felt like Jimmy Hams was bringing the heat in a way that Sunspot could not.
Oh, because he's the torch. I get it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're both hot boys. Let's be frank.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a couple of hot boys. But I had fun with the mode, but I was a little frustrated that it was a busy week. I had no time to play ladder. I didn't really get to. I got to play 20 or so games with the safety Aurora deck, but that's been about it. I played one game with my final Surfer of 2025 just to maybe I played more than one game. I don't know. That deck still seems to work. Still loving Maverick. I don't know, but Team Clash was a lot. I will say that it was not torturous, but it was a lot. And I did not get that Mobius emote that everyone is so gaga for. And it still felt like a lot of grinding just to get the 2 cards. And it could have been more of a chore, but it wasn't not a chore. And I didn't have time to do anything else. So ambivalence, ahoy.
I think something I'd like to see them change, and I'm doubtful we'll ever see it change, but remove any limitations from playing the modes, as in remove tickets. I want people to be able to experiment. It's both more fun for me as a deck builder, but it also means that we don't just solve the meta in a few days and everybody's just using the same decks.
Maybe this is just a me problem, but I never got close to running out of tickets, and I felt like I was grinding plenty. I don't know. But I do think just removing the pressure and having to think about it at all would be good. I'm just saying I never even came close to bumping up against that. To get 4 tickets every 8 hours, that means I have to be playing 12 games every 8 hours, at least. It's a whole thing.
But it wasn't until
there have been modes where I lose a lot more. High voltage, I'm looking at you. I'm sorry, Ree. What were you saying?
I don't know.
I think it's the experimenting.
Oh, I was gonna say that I didn't have. For me though, I didn't feel comfortable to experiment because I wasn't sure and then I was like, oh, I'm just I'm not running out of tickets, and so it wasn't until later that I did. I'm like, oh, let me start messing around then and whatever. But I also bought the pass, so I didn't know how much of that was part of it. But yeah, I also haven't run out of tickets, but it's just this. There's plenty of things that are just about the way things are stated and set up and structured that make you feel stressed. You know what I mean? Sometimes stress is about the appearance of things.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I agree.
I probably would benefit from just mentally being less precious about my tickets. Because I finished the mode I met the goals I had set for myself. I finished those with days to spare. So I could have had time to experiment on my own.
We should mention that our friend Michael was throwing games just to burn tickets and get some return on that, right? Do I understand that correctly?
I should have been doing that more, but I did that for the first time. I was like finishing some Guardian. I had to do matches with Guardians, and I'm like, oh, I could just retreat, and this would still count. I don't have to play. I think I ran into some people who were doing that. Out. And that's what I did. If it became clear this wasn't going to be a fun game for me, then I just started like retreating.
Well, there's no snap to tell you when to retreat, you know? Like
I usually always try my hardest to win, so it felt bad, but then it felt freeing because I wasn't enjoying the game.
All right, well, that's Team Clash. I'll be happy to see it again, especially every now and then there will be a new team, and then you get to learn a new ability and 6 new cards instead of learning them all at the same time. That'll feel more surmountable. But yeah, mostly I liked in the long run. I liked learning all the new abilities, and some of them are really cool. I had one really good Gamora play and like the history of it because she destroys
Gamora's the best. Right? I love this cool. Gamora.
See, I mostly for me, she's destroying things that are smaller than 4. So I'm like, normal Gamora would actually be better. Like, I don't want to unclog you. I don't want to be gaining less than 4. But
when
sometimes,
you get the Wolverine,
yeah. Oh, and there's nothing to respawn it. Is that? Oh no, because it doesn't respawn.
Wolverine, it's destroyed.
I messed that up before. I was like, I didn't have room for Wolverine. Ooh, but playing X-Men decks with White Queen, there were so many times I would like steal an extra Professor X and then get to play. I would have 2 Professor X's down, or I killed so many. Like I stole so many people's Gamoras. And then, anyway, okay, White Queen is fun this mode, just saying.
I think Gamora is super cool, and she probably is an upgrade, but yeah, I had a lot of them that were hitting smaller cards, and I was like, the standard Gamora would be perfectly fine here.
Dude, Hawkeye is a real deal in this. Like, taking down a Hawkeye with Elektra or with a Gamora is big, because...
So I was complaining about how the Guardians have nobody good that isn't already in their pre-con. There's one good one, and it's Grandmaster, and that's so you can get an extra bit on your Gamora or your Drax or whatever, because doubling twice is better than doubling once. It's much better. Okay. I guess I have one nice thing to say about the Guardian.
I saw a lot of people playing, and also Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if Beta Ray Bill's good. Sarah, I would say
Beta Ray Bill. That Beta Ray Bill is the card that convinced me that I should build a Guardians custom deck because
just to take it out.
Is he in the pre-con?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in the pre-con.
Yeah,
he's so useless.
Bad.
That explains why I saw so many of them. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I guess I haven't learned all the pre-cons. I thought I had. Like I know which tech I can safely avoid because it's a pre-con, but. I was always very careful to play Magic against X-Men precons because they run Legion. Okay. On to our side quests. First up, and only this week, Secret Homework. It was assigned by Ree.
All right. I wanted everyone to tell a toy story to keep it light. And because I like presents and I love toys. Dually, because when I was a kid, I was never we didn't have as much money, so I didn't get commercial toys that I wanted, which is what I wanted because they were on commercials. Therefore, they were very cool. And this kept toys magical because as an adult, then I could buy the toys that I couldn't. That I wasn't allowed to have as a kid. Because I always would put like a console on my list. And like every single year, even though I knew they wouldn't, because my parents were both like, it was both a money thing and they were kind of like spiritually opposed to video games. So it was like not what they were going to do. But okay, on the bonus side, because I never got fulfillment of having advertised toys when I was a child, I never got to like be disappointed and find out that like the commercials didn't live up to the reality. So like toys still seem super magical to me because I never learned that they might be less than what you would expect from advertisements. Like I still love every year, like when I would get, it's been happening less and they've been less cool in recent years, but like, you know, to just general toy catalogs coming from like Target or whatever, I'd be like, what are the toys? Like, I'm like, this shit's cool. I wish I would play with it. Now lately it's like way less, like kids need to stop trying to grow up, have fun. It's not all, grass isn't all greener. Some of it is. Okay. So I was thinking, even though I signed it, I didn't have a set thing in my mind, but I cited one of the last really magical set of toys that I was buying for myself. That I think maybe some other people experienced is the magic that was from like 2013 to 2015 called Disney Infinity. If you're familiar, Disney Infinity was like, so if they're like Amiibo, it was like where you'd have a little figurine of various Disney-owned properties. I didn't have every single one, but I had like pretty much all of the Marvel ones and Star Wars ones. I'm not as into like Disney proper. So like I didn't get those. But that was the idea. You'd have these little figurines and they could go on a stand and then they would, you know, zoop into the world. So it's like a thing that exists now. But like the real magic was like, okay, they would each come with their own little adventure and, you know, each character would have their own abilities. And that was fun. They were really well designed, just the right amount of cartoonish. The figurines were really quality. Like I love a good tactile, like, you know, figurine.
Something you can stuff in your mouth, like Griffin McElroy.
Right. And well, one of the, like, and it's like so many other things that's like, oh, paper cards you scan in or something, but there's something like that's just, that we just love about like a good little plastic thing. So,
yeah, totally.
Yeah, there's that. And then beyond the little adventures and worlds you would play, which were already fun. It was already like, think like, you know, the Lego stuff, but even like maybe even a little more fun to me than the Lego adventures, that kind of level. But then it was like this whole like universe. So I haven't played like Roblox or all the things they have now, but this was like, oh, well, you could take these characters and like they opened up the tools. You could even build whole worlds that were quest things and like visit other things. And you could take these characters into other made adventures. It was like this whole digital universe. And I think what was so fulfilling about it, looking back, was that it was like the first that I had seen real promise of like digital action figures, because you could actually play with these toys. You could take these characters and you can mix them up. You could have them meet each other from different universes. You could play with them, right? Like kids could play with them. They could build their own adventures. And there's this world you could build. I had so many dreams. Like this was coming at a time where I was just like super burned out by work and I had no extra energy, and I would just dream. I'm like, oh, in the future, you know, like I was planning out all the Disney, like Infinity, like quests I would make and worlds and adventures and like roller coasters and like all of this stuff. It was this really huge, impressive toy box. And, you know, and it got shut down, not because people didn't love it, you know, not even because it wasn't doing that well, but because, unfortunately, supply and demand don't really decide things anymore. What make short-term profits do. And it was cheaper for Disney to get out of, they decided they were just going to stop making their own in-house games. And this is like part of what that like Star Wars project about like, you know, the gritty Star Wars underground, I forget what it had been code word, but everyone had been hyped for it for years. That got killed as part of that. This Disney Infinity got killed. They're like, we're just going to license out. We don't want to worry about, we're doing such a good job with our IP. Let's not like make our own products. Yeah. So like, and you know, it's an interesting thing with licensing stuff out because, side tangent when talking about toys. Such an interesting, I'm like not like a Barbie fan, but like I got swept into some Barbie news.
You would not describe yourself as a Barbie girl?
Internet rabbit. No, I like, if it's dolls and fashion dolls, like Monster High is kind of weird. It's at, but Barbie recently made a decision to also, they're going to stop making their own products. They're just going to license them out. And this was met with huge, and they let go like this, the like celebrated, beloved like designer of like Barbie stuff for so many years. They let a whole bunch of staff go. And in the Barbie news, like a lot of people were like super upset about this. And it's because they knew this meant that like this is like, it felt like at least the beginning, if not the death of the brand, because already there had been quality kind of issues because they're always trying to be cheaper and cheaper. But the idea is it's like, oh, they found out if we just like cheapen, if we just sell the name Barbie to everything and it doesn't matter if that's quality, you know what I mean? Then like they'll just make money in the short term, even if that damages the brand in the long term. And that's not to say it's like some companies will license things out because like, oh, we're just not good at this industry. Let's do a partnership, you know, with someone who is good at this thing and can respect it. Sure, that happens. But like in the long run, I think it's, you know, the way that a lot of people do it is like, hey, if we just cut a bunch of in-house staff and then just sell a bunch of licenses out without thought, like that's a way we can make money short term. And I'm really mad that Disney Infinity got sacrificed to that because like, you know, like for me, I never got to like fulfill. I think when I was looking up the dates of when it was alive, people were like, oh, on Steam, there's like Disney Infinity 3.0 where you can play like everything. So maybe some version have been refreshed, but now I'm just like making my own. I'm not going to make Disney Infinity stuff, but I missed out on the time when I really wanted to play with it because I just didn't. It was that time when you were just burned out and dreaming of the time when you would enjoy things again. And so, you know, I don't want to be like play with your toys while you have them because the whole point was that I was too burned out to do them. But I guess the lesson is like capitalism will destroy the things you love before you have time to enjoy them. Rip Disney and Infinity. You were amazing. Like props to everyone who worked on you and all the joy you could have been as a sandbox. That is my toy story.
Depressing ending.
I should have thought of a better, you know, I'm a little scatterbrained today.
It's all good.
Oh, not a forethought. But I would like to hear, since Ben is assigning next week's home, and Lauren, please tell us your toy story.
Yeah. I'm going to start with a really broad definition of a toy. Just you know, something you can play with. My siblings and I are all creative people, and I mean, I think most children are creative if you let them be, if you encourage it. But we played tons of imaginary games, which is really just role-playing games. And we often made costumes out of paper or game pieces out of paper. It happened a lot. And so anyway, some of the ones that highlight to me, we would turn anything into an imaginary game. And my sister, who's 2 years younger than me, she has a really different personality than the rest of us, especially as children. And she's kind of like the one who wants the limelight. She loves being the director. She loves being the star of the show. I'm making that sound like it's a bad thing, but it's not.
No, you're making her sound awesome.
Okay, she is awesome. It is different now that we're all adults, but as children, like, I think it would be pretty clear to say, like, she's the extrovert and the three of us were introverts. And she also, like, she just had the personality where she wanted to run everything. And in some ways that could be seen as bossy, but also, like, we loved it because we had this built-in DM. We didn't know what that was. We didn't discover Dungeons and Dragons until later, but we had this, DM to run everything. And so my sister would always play all the NPCs, and we would each have our one character, and things usually were quite video gamey and RPG-y. But we played imaginary games with Super Smash Bros. Melee. Our bikes were dragons and horses, and they leveled up and learned abilities. The croquet mallets, they came in colors, and obviously the red croquet mallet was for shooting fireballs, not for playing any sort of sport. We had several Lego games that, like, my favorite, the one that I most fondly remember, was a Lego game where we each built a store, and it was like a retail tycoon game, but it was built out of Lego, and it was very like Sims-ish. Like we gained money and we used it to buy new pieces to add to our store, and it's very impressive considering the age of my sister. But the one I want to talk about is a game we played with Pokemon on a cork board. And I had this silly like desktop publishing software called Pokemon Project Studio. It came out at the end of 1999. Just like the Game Boy games, it came in red version and blue version. So you did not get all the Pokemon in one single desktop publishing app. You got like 80 of them. Yeah. And so I believe we had red. I was looking through the exclusive lists, and the red list looked right to me, but we had only one of them regardless. But I had they came with like 80 Pokemon, a handful of trainers, all 8 badges. And of course we printed these things out, and I had a lot of fun using the like desktop publishing software in it I designed tons of things with it. But for this game specifically, I liked scaling the Pokemon to the size of the character. So really tiny Diglett and a gigantic Onix, printed them out on paper, and we would move them around, and we played Pokemon that way. And my sister was the DM, and the three of us all had our teams that we had wild Pokemon encounters, and I don't remember how we randomized it or anything like that. Years later, I'm probably like 18-ish at this point, and my brother would be 7. We have an 11-year age gap. I'm the oldest and he's the youngest, and I've always considered video games very valuable for our relationship. Because, now that we're 36 and 25, I can do math. Now that we're 36 and 25, the age gap isn't such a big deal, but like 4 to 15 is a big age gap. And the way that we dealt with having an 11-year age gap at that time was playing Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. He's a little older. We had Heroescape, which was a super cool miniatures tactical board game. Had great terrain pieces at a reasonable price because it was marketed for children. But like, honestly, it was great. It was a fun game. Yes.
May I briefly tie some things together?
Absolutely.
Right, so the HeroClix judge, who very often liked to stipulate that people had to play themed teams where everybody was on comics accurate teams, we teamed up and played in a Heroescape tournament and won the shit out of it. And that's the only time I ever played Heroescape, but it was a lot of fun.
That doesn't surprise me at all to hear that you have played Heroescape. I played a game. It was just my brother and I, but we used Pokemon toys that we had, and we used Heroescape, and I used Google spreadsheets to convert Pokemon into Heroescape. Like I converted all the, because Pokemon have stats, right? Like Snorlax and Chansey have high HP, and Machamp has high attack, and whatever. Like, and Jolteon's very fast. And so like I converted all these stats that are already readily available. I converted them into Heroescape scale stats and gave them abilities. And I wrote like random formulas I wrote formulas to use RNG accurately representing the Pokemon capture mechanics from the game. So, hanging out on Bulbapedia and reverse engineering, how do I write in Google Sheets a formula that accurately matches the Pokemon capture formula? Like you get a higher chance if you use a better ball. You get a higher chance if the Pokemon is asleep or paralyzed, and you get a higher chance if its HP is low. Trying to capture all these things. Which is very nerdy, but it's how I learned Excel and Sheets is by building this like hybrid tabletop digital game for my brother. There's a button you could click on the page, and all the random numbers would update accordingly. And that, I think that led directly to where I am now, both professionally and like in the Snap community, because there was a job interview 15 years ago at this point, not quite, where I mentioned that I liked Excel, and they were like, "Wait, you like Excel?" And all of a sudden, they were off grabbing a different manager, and I was interviewing for a different position than what I had applied for, just because I like Excel. And that's how I got started in an entry-level analytics position, and I learned tons in that job. that have led to both, the job I have today, and also like the reason I got into Marvel Snap community was because I was a very analytical person and I wanted to use my analyst skills on all this data that surely these, like Untapped and SnapZone and SnapFan had all this data, and I wanted them to be doing cooler things with it. And I think that's why I reached out to SnapZone in the first place. Like, I'll write cool articles using your data if you just give me access to your data. And they did. Mm-hmm. And that has led to kind of accidentally being a content creator, making this podcast today and being a part of this community and making new friends and all that. Because of homemade Pokemon toys. So maybe it is also kind of depressing or too real to have my Toy Story end with, and she grew up and got a job, but like, yeah.
And she grew up to love Excel.
Yeah, I thought it was beautiful. That was a great story. I suppose that would make it my turn. All right. Well, I also had a sister. Still do, in fact. So I have a sister, just the one, unfortunately. Well, I don't know. It's felt like about a manageable amount of sisters. I don't know. I'm sure if I had more, I would love them too. They would be great. My hypothetical sisters, yeah, I'm sure they would be great. But the one I have leaves little to be desired. She's great. She's just so unimaginably great. And she also was very much the director type for our games. She set the agenda of playtimes because she's older than I am, and I think it's fascinating that your younger sister was able to boss you around, because I sort of thought that the bossiness came with being the older sister, but clearly not. Nope. But that's really interesting, and it has me questioning the context in which I understood things to have happened. But anyway, point is, I love my sister, and she's great, and she also would run Pokemon RPGs and things and write stuff down. She did not get quite as mathematical about some of these sorts of games as you ended up doing. I don't recall there being spreadsheets, but there was certainly a lot of writing and binders and stuff. So we had great fun there, but that's fun without toys. And I'm here to talk about a toy story, damn it. And my sister now has a daughter, my amazing niece, and she's getting older, and when I say older, I mean she's 2 now, so her personality is becoming more and more evident. And this past holiday visit at my parents' house, my niece's grandparents' house, it's lots of fun calling my parents grandma and grandpa and stuff. It's just fun because that's not who they are to me, but I want it to make sense to the little one, so that's neato. But I've really enjoyed playing with my niece, and I wasn't sure how she felt about me, because she doesn't see as much of me as she sees of her grandparents, for instance. Also, just one set of grandparents. My sister had this kid all on her own, so that makes her just ours for all the holidays and stuff. So I have delighted in playing with her, and I am really pleased that she loves to play with our stuffies that my sister and I had as kids. And I know, Lauren, you've spoken of playing with stuffies and Beanie Babies and things, and how that can be like a special thing with your siblings and stuff. And that was certainly true of my sister and me. So I've been delighted to see that. My niece, she plays with the same like dog stuffy that my sister did, and it has the same, nonsense name. It's called Puppy Doggy. A little redundant.
That's a very good name.
Very on the nose. But, so I was shocked to hear her talking about Puppy Doggy, because I knew which one was Puppy Doggy. And I was like, oh, it's so fascinating that this lives on. And you know, my niece does not always love when it is time for her nap, but I thought it was so fascinating that she chose to, as part of playtime, we put Puppy Doggy down for a nap, and we turned on the noise machine and tucked Puppy Doggy in with a blanket, and then we would close the door, and my niece would tell me, "Don't wake him up. He's napping." And we'd walk down the hallway, and then she'd run back and open the door and say, "Bye," and close the door. And we did this, I'm going to say about 15 times. And sometimes she'd say, "I'm going to wake him up." And then she'd, go in and I guess maybe wake him up, except anytime I was like, "Are we waking him up?" My niece would be like, "No, he's sleeping." I don't know. She's just a really adorable kid. Also, saw K-pop Demon Hunters exactly one time and came at my sister with some object that was intended to function as a sword and said, "I'm fighting mommy." And so K-pop Demon Hunters now exists only as a beautiful song cycle. And the movie is not in rotation in that household. So that's just a fun little tie-in. But yeah, toys are great. Kids are great. Toys are great for kids. They encourage creativity and let them work through all sorts of interesting things. Oh my gosh. My niece really does hate those naps. And I'm like, that is so fascinating that you are simulating the nap time process with Puppy Doggy. Anywho, I guess that's my story. And
it's lovely.
Yeah.
I will now assign next week's secret homework. All right. Well, I'm personally of the opinion that New Year's resolutions are maybe a little silly. And if you want to make a meaningful change in your life, you probably need a better reason than a new number at the end of the date, I
like New Year's resolutions, though.
Oh, they're fine. I'm just saying, like,
it's always fun to stop and assess
things in my life, and not the easy kind either. And I needed better reasons than it being a new year. But anywho. But even though I have I don't have much respect for the concept. I am forcing us all to resolve to find a Marvel Snap card that you're just excited to play more of. Like I'm not going to do these because this would be wrong and lazy, and I already talked about it earlier in the episode, and I'm not interested in rerunning next week. But for instance, I've been telling myself for a long time that I should be playing more Cosmo. I should be playing more Juggernaut. So those would be things that I would resolve to play more in the new year, but maybe something a little goofier, maybe something a little less pragmatic and, ruthless, because God damn it, if those cards do not win some games, your Cosmo and your Juggernaut, sometimes together, often together, that's how you get them. You sort of fork them like in chess. Anywho, but yeah, just find a card that you could be comfortable resolving to play more of in 2026. Yeah, I didn't, it's not the most ambitious secret homework I've ever assigned, but
that's okay.
I like it.
Yeah,
sounds good.
It's been busy times.
Okay. Yep. I say waving my child off to a sleepover at her grandparents. If you liked what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, rate and review, all the fun things. You can leave us a comment on YouTube or Spotify, or come hang out with us in the I should say, and come hang out with us in the Speakeasy, because you got to feed that algo, come hang out with us so good at this. Come hang out with us in the Speakeasy, our little corner of Discord. There are instructions to get there in the show notes and video description. We're proudly part of the Snap Judgments Network. That's the Discord that we've glommed onto, where we have our little corner where you can listen to other great shows like Snap Judgments, but our Grandpod by Pulse Glazer and Roy on Saturdays. I think maybe it's Pulse Glazer and Nick Nick the Greek Geek these days. My goodness. Anyway, if you like what you heard, next week we will be rating and reviewing the cards coming up in January. We're gonna be ranking dragons, not just talking about them. Dragons. It's a season that is far more appealing to me than this one.
Yeah. I mean,
at least
dragons.
Aesthetically. Yes.
Ooh, we should have an episode where we just talk about dragon media we like.
Just talk about dragons.
Talk about Dragon Song by Anne McCaffrey. Okay, sorry.
That's fine. Yeah. Tune in next week. Same Snap time, same Snap channel.
Oh, man. One of my friends recently said same bat time, same bat channel. I'm like, do you know about the podcast? Sorry. It's become a reference.
I'm wearing my Sajid Boys hoodie that I got.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
For Christmas. My mom was like, are you sure you want that one? There's so many cheaper ones in other places. But I'm like, no, I need the one that has the patterns. That's why cool. I wanted it for the patterns.
I love it.
So it's from the official Netflix store, which is expensive.
That's pretty cool. I am a little envious because I want to express my fandom of Sajid Boys. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Huntrix is great too, but like, I feel like everybody's got those Huntrix shirts and things. But
that's true.
Somebody needs to. I mean, the soda pop is a banger. Your idol, double banger.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how they do that in the next movie because, like, I kind of don't expect there's going to be Sajid Boys in the next movie. But
no, I don't think so either.
Surely they want to bring in boy band music still. So, is there going to be like a battle of the bands, or who knows? Who knows?
I don't know.
I'll be interested to find out.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of those songs, though, my niece, she's got the pipes. She's got got a very good sense of pitch. Though she does struggle with the range of Golden. They really do ask you to have a fucking enormous range.
It's a very hard song.
But wow, she's got the beat and the pitch, and I'm just real excited to see where she goes. Maybe awesome. if I can afford it, I'll get her a ukulele or something. Because I mean, like, you know, there are those toy instruments, and they're all well and good. I'm sure they encourage musical inclinations in children. You know, the keyboards that play the songs when you hit but they're not like. I kind of think that this kid is sharp enough that she could probably get more mileage out of something real, like a ukulele or an ukulele, if you feel like being correct, but having people wonder if you know what you're talking about. You know, we all have to make these game time decisions about if we're going to say the word the right way or the way that people will know what we mean.